Hello, Jackson. Okay, so as you can tell, a couple different things here. One of them, I'm about to start a timer. That is for me, so that way I stay on point and I don't go too far, too deep, too long in your lesson, because actually it takes a lot of prep work to make all of this happen, and I'm a little bit behind, so I'm trying to keep everybody kind of where they need to be. All right, part of the prep work for yours was listening to your video, and your video was very helpful. I'm so glad I have it, but it stalled out a lot, so like 15 minutes to watch 3, something like that. Okay, so if you need to send me stuff next week because we can't do a Skype lesson or you can't come in person, if we get to that point, maybe just an audio file would be really nice and quick, and then I'll be able to play it and I'll be able to talk in your video lesson about that and show you the different things. So that is worth considering. All right. Moving right along. I am now able to mark some stuff on iPad. I still have your book up here too. So you're going to see some different things happening from usual because I'm experimenting. Making things a little bit smoother is my goal. Now, basically, the boogie boarding one went fine. I didn't have it in my notes for this week either, so I wonder if you might have overlooked a sticker. There were only 2 minor things in it that I found, so I decided to devote the lesson to this one and the next song. So you might just look back and see if maybe you had a sticker, maybe it fell off, I'm not sure. But boogie board is definite pass, so put a check mark on it. You're good there. My new skate shoes. This one is going fairly well, okay? But there were some things that we need to go over. The first thing that I noticed is you played at the beginning of your song, and it doesn't do that. The first note that you played in your right hand was a C, okay? Not supposed to be a C. What is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be, and look at it. I'm making it really big. You played C, that's why that's marked up there. It isn't supposed to be C. That was marked from my notes. It's supposed to be an E. E. See that? It is the bottom line of the staff. Bottom line of the staff is E. You played it just fine at the bottom of the page. Down here at the bottom. Undo. At the bottom. There it is again. E, G. They were fine. So I'm not quite sure. There we go. Why you didn't get it at the beginning. But I had a feeling like it's been the C, E, D, C. Because then you got back on track at that C. Make sure it's E. This one is not an E. It's got to be G then, just at the bottom of the page. And this is also E. E, G, E, C. From that point on, your notes were just fine, okay? I didn't have any other notes that I caught. That doesn't mean that all of your playing was perfect, except for that, but those were the notes that you were missing. I'm going to take those marks off of my page. If you need to go back, you can always do that, and you can add those in to your music so that way you're consistently playing correctly. Because you do want to pass this one next week, okay? All right, the next thing for this piece, you do want to have all your half notes be half notes. So we're going to go through, and I want you to take your pencil, please, and I want you to circle all of your half notes because you are missing them, okay? So half note. I will switch that to an easier color to see, I think. There we go. There's green. That's a little bit easier. Half note, half note, half note, half note, half note, half note, half note. Circle along with me. Half note, half note. There's one down there at the bottom. It doesn't want me to get to also. Okay, so scrolling back through your page. All of those half notes. Okay. Now then, when you have those half notes correct, then you know they're going to last 2 beats. I'm going to start, for saving time, at measure 5 in your music. See measure 5 there. You've got rest, hold, hold, 2. Okay? So particularly, this line is rhythmically tricky, okay? You've got rest. Oops, I messed up. Rest. Hold, hold. 1, 2. Hold, hold. Okay, now without me talking, it's going to sound like this. Okay? Be careful about that, because also at the next line, at measure 9 and beyond, that should be like your first line, and you actually got your half notes correct the first time around, then you missed them the second time around. Okay, so be really, really careful. And then there at measure 13 at the end, that seemed to go fairly well. Okay, just be careful. Make sure your half notes are half notes and then you get the notes at the beginning correctly. Okay, I'm going to erase all of that. Bye, 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 bye. And we're going to go to the next song. I hope. There we go. The trumpet voluntary. It doesn't look like that for you, so don't panic. All right, so this one was in your list to be working on this week. But I didn't hear a recording of this one. So do be working on the trumpet voluntary. So I'm just going to start out by giving you important information about this one. Important. This is your hand position. You can see at the bottom of your screen. C, D, E, F, G. C, D, E, F, G. This is your hand position, okay? Make sure this is where your hands are going when you play this one. Otherwise, you won't be able to get a sticker on it next time, okay? Next thing, this one has more bass clef, which you should be pretty happy about because you say you like the bass clef. I'd like you to take a moment and just double check. I'm going to hit edit here. That you have the correct notes in your left hand. Tell me, I know you're not there and I'm not there and all that stuff, but tell me what the first note is that your left hand plays. I've given you clues. Hopefully you're saying G, okay? That first note is a G. And then you've got G, E, G, 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 F, E, D, okay? So make sure that you're getting those correct, okay? It should sound familiar. This plays like. Now, are you going to practice it that fast? No. Just for the sake of time, okay? Now then, other details that you should be making sure you get on this one. Make sure that you're playing fairly loud unless it's distracting a sibling or a parent, okay? And then it does decrescendo there at the end of the line. Next page. My other program, when I have them in, it goes faster, but this is fine. Still like it much better. Okay. Now, at this point in your music, make sure it's at the top. There we go. I am talking about this place. those hands are going to play together, right? Now look at it and let's talk about how much distance there is apart. I know 3, 2, 1 and the lesson's over, but not in my world. It's just a reminder to me. We have what distance between these two notes? Remember intervals? So if the G, move it up a little bit. Too big, Miss Amy. There we go. We're going to count the G as 1, right? And then there'd be another, still too big, Miss Amy. It'd be, the line would be 2. So the space is 1, the line is 2, right? The space above that is 3. Middle C would be 4. D, the space between the treble, is 5. And E is 6. So this is a 6. And it continues to be a 6 all the way through here. Okay? But be careful because when you get here, it doesn't play the F along with it, okay? So make sure that there is a rest when you get to that place, okay? Then moving on at measure 9. Make sure all those half notes are half notes. It's just the G, F, E, D that you had at the beginning of the song, okay? Then you have, which is the same as line 1 of this page. So these are the same, right? Be careful, I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'm just going to give you a heads up that this is a little bit tricky. That part that I circled in blue is a little bit tricky. So be careful about which fingers play. Really read carefully. But then the line below it that is partially covered. There we go. We made it go away. Yay! This is an octave higher. Octave up. Okay? So where you had notes down here, then it's high until the end, but your left hand doesn't move any higher, okay? Your left hand stays in the same place. All right, Jackson, that's what I've got for you this week. Do make sure that you have put a sticker or something on the other one because it's done and you need to be spending your time now working on the skate shoes and the trumpet voluntary. Whether I see you on YouTube next week, in person next week, or on Skype or something else next week, I know that I will see you next week, Lord willing. That is my plan. And I'm glad that we already have all this experience to do this. If you have any questions or you need anything, just let me know. And I think we're going to have some exciting things coming up. Okay? So have a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye, Jackson.